Hey, hey, howdy, howdy. My name is Amanda. I am taking over the ClickPro account this week, so thank you for joining me. I'll get kind of right started into it. So in stories, I put a couple options for topics. I wanted to get a feel for what you guys want me to talk about, just so you know a little bit about me. I love Instagram. I'm into the hashtag thing. That is what I am known for. I'm known as the hashtag fairy, and I love talking about all things Instagram. So I would love to answer your Instagram questions if you have any. I put it out there yesterday. Does anybody have any Instagram questions or anything like that? And it was crickets. So obviously you guys don't have any questions. You've got it good on Instagram, but please comment if you have any questions at all. Hello, Monica McLean Photography. Is it McLean or McLean? I never really know. So I'm just going to go with that. Hey, Stephanie. Thanks everybody for joining. Let me know if you have any questions related to Instagram at all. Anything that's kind of my wheelhouse. I am not the most awesome photographer in the world, so I feel honored to be taking over the account. Hey Lisa, I got your Lisa Toffolo. I got your a bunch of people did say that they wanted a profile feedback audit or a hashtag audit. So what I did, I'm getting those in notifications and I'm screenshotting them. And I promise to get you guys, hey from Arizona, Stephanie. Hey guys. Hello from Austria. Awesome. Very cool. Thank you guys for joining. So I do a lot of profile feedback. If you've ever seen me on my account, or I do a live stream with Camera Mama, I do a lot of profile feedbacks. This is one of people love when I do this. I will definitely do that. Can I talk a little about HGTV? I'm not even sure how you spell it. I love HGTV, particularly Joanna Gaines. I'm not an expert in DIY home design. I'm going to be honest with you, but you might be referring to IGTV. Hey from Vancouver. Thank you so much. So I think you probably meant IGTV. And so what I would say, Simplicity Photography by Megan, I may start with you, honey. I saw she had requested a profile feedback or a hashtag audit. I do a lot of hashtag audits as well. Basically my deal is I teach photographers how to make Instagram easier and make their Instagram life better. So I do a lot of hashtag research. I provide banks of hashtags for people. A couple of the topics that I threw out were how to create a bank of local hashtags. Erin Barkle Photography was on my last live stream on Monday, and she asked me a great question, and I have to apologize. I skimmed her question, and I didn't note the important part of her question. So I am going to get back to that. I looked at that video afterwards and realized that I didn't really answer her question. She asked about location hashtags, to which I went into a diatribe about location hashtags. But I forgot to really read her second sentence, which was, she lives in a very small town. So what are some tips that I have? And I do have tips for her for that. I'm going to go through. I see a bunch of people commenting. Thank you so much for commenting. Hi from Argentina. Yes, IGTV. Hello. How do you grow fast from null? You don't. It takes time. The only people that grow super crazy quick on Instagram are people that have a crazy amount of talent. Like if your pictures are sick, then that's the way. But I don't think it's like a diet and exercise plan. Like if for this week I said, you know what, I'm going to drink all the water, I'm going to eat all the vegetables, I'm going to go on a juice cleanse, I'm going to go running. I'm not going to go to the gym because it's closed. But if for 1 week of my life I decided to go bonkers on a health kick, I might lose like 3 pounds. So it's like that. I don't know. I don't believe any of the get rich quick schemes out there. I don't believe, get 1 million followers in a week. Like, that's crazy. There's one guy that advertises that, how to get 1 million followers in 30 days. What he doesn't tell you is that he spent $40,000 on Instagram ads. Now, ads have a place. I do not recommend using ads to grow your following. I don't think that's a good use of your money and your time. So grow fast from null. I would say work on your photography skills. I've talked about this a lot. I would say work on your photography skills. The better your pictures are, the faster you will grow. I feel like people now, I would say for the last year or so, people have been really stingy with their follows. And that's because back in the day, Instagram was smaller. And so you could follow everybody and everybody would follow you back. And it was really easy to grow quickly because there just wasn't a lot of people on it. Now there are so many eyeballs competing for your scroll space. And so I'm only going to follow this is me. This might not be you. I'm only going to follow you if I have a connection point with your profile bio. If I read your profile, because your first impression, okay, is critical. If I happen to see, so it's Little Toes Pictures, which I love your username. So Little Toes, if I see an image of yours on the Explore page, or it gets featured on a hub, and I go, I've never heard of Little Toes Pictures before. And I click on your name and I go to your profile picture. That is, or profile page, that is your 5-second, 3-second chance to make a really good first impression. And so that's why I think I am gonna do a profile feedback. I think that's a good segue into that. And I do those a lot, and I love doing them, and people enjoy listening to them for some reason. I would say really, and I can take a look at your profile bio as well and give you some tips. But if I see a connection point I'll give you a perfect example. I live in a suburb of Atlanta, Georgia. And so if I see that you're from my local area, I'm like, oh my gosh, how cool. And I'll follow you for that reason. I always follow everybody from Wisconsin. There are so many amazing Click Pros that are from Wisconsin. I grew up in Wisconsin. I moved down here to Georgia when I was 18 or something like that. And I'm perpetually homesick. So anytime I see in someone's profile bio that they're from Wisconsin, boom, I follow, because I want to see pictures of my hometown. It makes me happy. Today, I was scrolling through some Click Pro pictures that I want to feature on this account, and I came across Missy Scherer, which Missy Scherer rings a bell to me because my kids watch YouTube, and that's like a YouTube star, different, not the same person, I don't think. But I saw on one of her pictures, it was from Brookfield, Wisconsin, which is literally where my parents lived. So that for me, that's a connection point. That's a follow point. So I would make sure that your profile really speaks to who you are and creates that connection point with other people. Because if they read that and they're like, oh, this is my person, they're gonna want to follow you. So, but yeah, how to grow fast from nothing. I don't think that exists. I just don't. I don't think that exists. And when you see an account that has, I'm just going to throw, I don't know. I'm just throwing out hypothetical numbers. If you see an Instagram account where the pictures aren't all that, they're not all that. And it has thousands and thousands of followers. And then you start looking through the posts and you notice that it has 8 likes, no comments, 4 likes, 1 comment. That's kind of a clue that, they probably bought the followers. Don't ever do that. Engagement is far more important than followers. It's far, far more important than followers. One of the topics I threw out for us to talk about on live would be this whole idea of no 10K, no problem. I feel like a lot of people feel like reaching 10,000 followers is like the epitome. They have reached this great milestone that will change their lives. And the truth is that you get a swipe up. It's really not a big deal. Once those people get to 10K, it's like a huge disappointment because not they got to swipe up and like they don't even really even use it. They don't even, and there are so many workarounds to the swipe up. It is not worth it to put that weight on that milestone. I would say work on your photography, because if I don't have a connection point in your profile bio, I will look at your pictures, and if your pictures knock my socks off, yeah, I'm going to follow you because I want to see more of that. I want to be inspired. I want to see new things, different things. I usually don't follow people whose pictures are pretty good, but maybe they look like they're the exact same carbon copy of another famous photographer out there. You know who I'm talking about. So I've seen it before, and I follow her. So I would work on finding your voice. I know it's like this elusive, the voice. It's out there. Where is it? We have to find it. I don't know how to find it, except for shoot every day. Play around with your editing. You don't have to edit exactly like the popular photographers edit. Do something different and unique that's cool and that people haven't seen before. I don't know how to tell you how to do that. I haven't figured it out, but I know it when I see it, and it's followable for sure. So hey, hello. Hey from Boise. Yes, Simplicity Photography by Megan. I looked at your account. I'll probably start with you, sister. Catching Light Studio. Comment on posting logos and other non-photo posts on your Instagram page over. Okay, so I think it depends on your account, and I think it depends on. Oh, that one is such a dependent thing. I think if like you're usually, let's say you're, so Catching Light Studio, I'm going to imagine based on your username, and I could pull you up. I got an old phone here. I'm going to imagine that you probably have a photography studio or you're in a photography business. Okay. That's what I'm guessing. Most of the people, Click Pro are either, super hobbyists, or they take clients and do sessions, do commercial photography work, weddings, whatever. And so I'm going to guess that from your username. If that's the work that you're typically posting, and then all of a sudden you throw in like a graphic, that's not what your followers are used to, and it just might not resonate with them as much. Posting a logo. I think so. There are some photographers out there who will really plan out their grid so that it has a really awesome, visually appealing pattern to it. And I do this a little bit on Photographer Hack as well. I like, what I do is I'll post an image, a photograph, and then I'll do a graphic. And I kind of had to do it that way. It's not a photography business, but I felt like for me, it made the most sense to do it that way. And I hated looking at my grid when I would do like a graphic and then like 4 photos and then like a graphic and then like, I think if you can plan it out so that there is a cohesive pattern to it, like maybe, your grid is in 3s, right? So either every other, which might be too much if you're a photographer, you really want to share your images. But you could have like a graphic down here, picture, and then like another graphic up here. So plan it out. You can do this for free. You don't need expensive software. You can use Instagram's Layout app. It's the Layout app. It's by Instagram. And you can create little grid collages and stuff. It's what you use for like Follow Fridays or Top 9 or whatever. And so you can drop images and graphics into that and see how it's going to look on your grid. I talk about this a lot. You guys, if you're Clickin' Moms forum members, I have an entire like long article about this on the Clickin' Moms forum where I talk about, people always say, how often should I post? How many times a week should I post? When should I post? My answer is always the same: 3 or 6 times per week. Post 3 times a week or 6 times a week. Why? Because the grid is in 3s. And if you want to post often and you have a lot of pictures to share, post 6. If that's way too much for you, then post 3 per week. The more you post, the better you will do in terms of followers and engagement and that type of thing. That just is what it is. Generally speaking, that's what the numbers, the statistics bear out. But I tend to, if I'm working with someone and I'm coaching them and their big question is, how many times a week do I post? And they want to do 6 times a week. What we would do is maybe 2 posts on Tuesday, 2 on Wednesday, 2 on Thursday, 1 on Friday. Is that right? Did I mess that up? Is that 6? Sorry, I can't even count. So 2 on Tuesday, 2 on Wednesday, 2 on Thursday. Well, you could do 1 on Tuesday, 2. You definitely want to do 2 posts a day on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Those are the highest days for engagement, and throw one in on Friday. So that's what I would tell you. Weekends are very light. Weekends are just very, very light on Instagram. They have been historically. Obviously, every day is a weekend here now in this day and age. So I don't know how that will change. But I would never post on a Sunday. I don't post on Mondays as a matter of just the way I do things, because Mondays are days to compile my hashtags for the week. And so I don't post on Mondays typically, unless I do a post later on in the day. But if you can arrange it so you're doing 6 a week or 3 a week, that way over the weekend, as people are landing on your page and seeing your grid for the first time, that pattern will emerge and it will look pretty. And this is coming from someone, if you guys know who I am, you know my personal account, I kind of don't care. I don't care. It's my personal account. It's for me. It is for me. Sometimes I post crappy cell phone pictures. I don't stress about my personal account because it's for me. It's not for you. And I don't care about followers. I don't care about growing it at all. And so, and you can tell, for an account that I was really intentional about growing it, I would definitely plan out your grid so it's aesthetically pleasing, so that someone that comes to it goes, "Ooh, this is kind of pretty." So yeah, in terms of words over photos, on my personal account, I will post graphics. I love making graphics in Photoshop. I really do. Song lyrics, quotes, that type of thing. I love that. And if you want to do that and share those types of images, I would be consistent, use the same colors and the same fonts. For sure, you want it to have a cohesive look and be on brand. Got to be on brand, but you definitely be concerned with the pattern so that you don't have blobs of things, because you just want to, it's like a photograph. It's like when you critique a photograph, or if you're self-critiquing a photograph, one of the best tips that I've ever heard, I don't know, I probably learned this from Sarah Wilkerson. I'm just probably, that when you're looking at a photograph when you're done editing, okay, we finish editing our photograph. What I do is in Photoshop, I make it smaller. For my Lightroom users out there, I'm sure you could just zoom out or in or something, make it smaller, okay? So make it small and then squint your eyes. And when you do that, all you can really see are like shapes and bright spots. That will reveal a lot. And what I notice when I make my photos smaller, and when I kind of squint, I will see distractions that I didn't notice before when I was editing. And I'm like, woo, that is distracting to my eye. The same goes with your grid. If I'm looking at a grid for the first time, bunches of color, another thing and again, do you. I'm just telling you what I think works and looks good based on my opinion, so please take that with a grain of salt. I also, if you shoot in both color and black and white, be intentional about how you place color versus black and white in your grid, okay? So don't post 2 black and white, 4 color, a black and white, a color, a black and white, have a pattern. It looks visually appealing. I also have a post on the Clickin' Moms forum for you forum members out there where I actually provide you guys with screenshots of people who do this really well. Super simple off the top of my head. Meg Lukes does this really well. She's very intentional about colors, light versus dark images. Some of her images are dark and moody. Others are a lot brighter. I'm thinking of like her foggy pictures are a lot brighter. Uh-oh. Do we have a bad doggy? Oh, okay. My husband came in with the dog. So I would just be, oh my God, I'm going to get attacked by my dog. Do you want to say hi to my dog? Here, come say hi to my doggy. This is my doggy Bennett. He smells really bad because my groomer's not open. So I hope that sort of answers your question. Let's see. Life created, my growth has been so slow. Stephanie, so Stephanie does flat lays, and I'll take a look at your account because flat lays are cool, right? Like flat lays are visually and aesthetically pleasing. So if your growth has been slow, I would ask you how you're spending your time on Instagram. So Stephanie, if you post one of your awesome flat lays, I actually shared one of your posts recently was, I shared it to the Click Pro. I think it was like prompts or ideas for flat lays and that kind of thing. Educational resources. People save those. They share them. Those are gold. So keep doing that as much as you can. But for a typical flat lay, I love a good flat lay for sure. And what I would say is, how are you spending your time on Instagram? If you're just posting and then what we call post and ghost, if you post and then you just get off the app and just go about your day, you're not going to grow. Instagram has formulated their algorithm such that the people that invest in the community and engage proactively with other Instagram accounts, those are the ones that will be rewarded. That's what the algorithm is. It's a computer program that says, what is Stephanie doing when she's on Instagram? Does she post and ghost? Does she reply to comments? Does she engage with other people? Does she only engage in her own little bubble? Or does she, do you go to, there's a ton of flat lay hubs out there. Stephanie, I know you're not a part of Hub Hack, but there are use your search bar. Like there are so many flat lay hubs out there. Are you using those hashtags? Are you engaging with those hubs? Are you engaging with other users that are using those hashtags? You teach how to do flat lays. You want students to buy your educational resources. So you need to find people on Instagram, it's not hard, who are trying to do flat lays as well. I try to do flat lays. I'll suck at flat lays. I don't have an eye for that. I don't have like a design eye or whatever. But what you can do is search those hashtags, look through those hubs, find people that you can engage with and encourage. And I said this in my live stream on Monday. It's not about you being the judge of what makes a great picture. And if you don't think it's a great picture, you're not going to like or comment on it. I do feel like there is that thing. But because you are an educator, you will want to encourage other people and say, oh, I really love how you use the light here. I love how you arranged the spoons this way, or, find something positive, find a way that you can, leave a thoughtful comment, that will make that person go, oh my gosh, who is this person? They're going to tap over to your account and they're going to be like, holy moly, like Life Created just commented on my flat lay, and my flat lay is awful, but she's amazing. I'm going to follow her. I want to know more about what she's doing. So that's what I would say. If your growth has been slow, I would say it's probably because you are not proactive enough in engaging with other people, especially outside of your circle of people that are already following you. And flat lays, that's so super simple. Flat lays are a whole nother little micro niche in Instagram. I'm not worried about you. Flat lays, that's no big deal. Oh my gosh, my sister. I was talking to my sister on the phone and she's like, I'm driving through Chick-fil-A. What are you doing? I'm like, I'm about to go live on the gram. She's like, I might watch it. So, oh my gosh. Y'all. Okay. Are there any other questions? Otherwise I can jump into, hey, from Houston, Texas, London, UK. We are watching you guys all the time. Lisa, awesome. What's the name of the post? Lisa, I've been running my mouth to the point where I don't even, you may have been talking about a post either on Instagram or on the Clickin' Moms forum. So get with me, Lisa, DM me and we'll figure it out. Hey, Bonnie Iris, I saw that you answered my, my call for volunteers. So, I will get to you. I just want to make sure I got everybody. Ask me any questions. And if you don't have any questions, I will jump into Simplicity. Hello from Mexico. How are you guys doing down there? I see a lot of news about London and Europe and the UK. It was the post in Clickin' Moms. Okay, so what I would do, let me see. You know what I would do, Lisa? Go on the forum, use the search bar, and type in Instagram. That's what I do. I go on the forum and I type in Instagram, and if anyone has questions about Instagram, I just insert my opinion into those posts. So that is the easiest way to find them. Or you could put in my name or my username. My username on Clickin' Moms forum is Crane Creek Photo. But I can get with you offline and I can make sure that you find it. So I'm going to do a quick profile audit for Megan Wright. Megan, give me a little hey if you're still on here. But she volunteered, if you go back to my stories, she volunteered for a profile audit. So I don't think this is going to work. No, and it's going to be backwards. So we're just going to wing this. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Megan's profile, things that I'm seeing that I would improve, or things that she's doing really well. This is the first time I've looked at it. I pulled it up right before I went live. And so I really haven't played around with it at all. Hey, she is on here. Okay. So, and again, take this with a grain of salt, Megan, just like photo critique. Sometimes when I submit my photos for critique, sometimes I'm like, ooh, that's a good idea. But then other times I'm like, no, I left that there for a reason. Like that has a reason for me. So take this with a grain of salt. You do you by all means, but I will try to give you some actionable tips to make your profile even better. And so her username, we're going to just start from the top and work our way down. And I have 10 or 11 bullet points that I work through when I'm doing a profile audit. So her username is Simplicity Photography by Megan. Okay. It's a relatively long username. That doesn't really bother me because Instagram is nice and it usually pre-fills us. So if I start typing in the name Simplicity, it'll give me some options. So it's not like I have to type in the whole thing. Readability, very readable. One of my pet peeves, and you guys, I can give you so many examples off the top of my head, but so many usernames are run together in such a way that they would really benefit from some dots or periods or underscores so that you're separating out the words so people can read it. Because sometimes when we take 4 or 5 words and we smush them together, our brain and our eyes, when they read it, it comes out differently than what we expected. I'm not going to call anybody out. I can think of several off the top of my head, but there are definitely some usernames out there where I go, I don't think that's what they mean it to say. So I am fine with the username. Now, so again, let me say it one more time because I'm going to contrast it to her name field. So when you edit your profile, there is a username and a name. Okay. The username has the @ symbol. The name is the font in bold right underneath your profile picture. Okay. So her username is Simplicity Photography by Megan. Her name is Simplicity by Megan Wright. Okay. My thing, what I would say is that, and she's saying you're hard to offend. Good. Thank you. I don't take offense to too many things either. Although I'll try to be nice. I don't think I've offended anybody that I'm aware of, but I probably have. I would say that your username and your name are too redundant. They're too similar, and that is not helping you. The only two fields on your Instagram profile that are searchable, meaning they will pop you up in search results when someone starts typing something in their search field, are your username and your name field. Yours are nearly identical. I would say they're pretty much identical. And so it's not helping you. I already know that your photography business name is Simplicity Photography by Megan. So your username, I wouldn't change it. I would stick with it. Your name field, which is the bold part, I would definitely change that, number one, to include your location. So you're from Boise, Idaho. Also, I have one of my very best friends lives in Boise, Idaho. I would absolutely put Boise in that name field. You don't have to use the word photographer. Now, your name field, you only get 30 characters. 30. That's not a lot. And if you stick a big long word like photographer in there, I mean, that's pretty much the whole name field, like Boise photographer, and that's like the whole thing. But she does have a business profile, so the word photographer is on her profile, and I wish I could show this to you guys. I wish I could show this to you, but it's not going to work out here. Maybe I'll pop it up on my laptop, although it's formatted differently on the laptop. But because she has her business category as photographer, she does not need to use the word photographer and take up all that valuable real estate in her name field. I would absolutely use the word Boise, okay? And then I would use something so it looks like she shoots newborns, seniors, homes, maybe she does real estate or maybe for interior design, maternity, branding, commercial, families, studio, weddings. I would pick your very favorite things. So let's say your favorite thing to shoot would be newborns and kids. What I would do is using that 30 characters, I would put Boise, newborns, and then the ampersand, the and symbol, Boise, newborns, and kids. Boise, newborns, and families. Because right underneath that, it says photographer. So we know that. But what you're doing with those keywords in that searchable name field is you're going to hit anybody that's searching in Boise, which is huge because photography is a localized service. And you're going to hit anybody who might be in the Boise area and they're searching newborn, for example, or families or kids or whatever. I know for me, I'm a mom. I have 3 kids. We moved to a new city a couple months ago. And so, of course, I'm on my Instagram and I'm typing in, I live in the city of Buford. So I was typing in, Buford kids, Buford moms, Buford family, because there's Instagram accounts that have content for moms or for families or whatever and that type of thing. And so you're going to catch those people as they're looking for that. So I know it looks like you shoot a wide variety of genres. I'd pick like a couple of your favorites. I would not use the word photographer. I just think that's a waste of space for you, but you've got to have your location there. Now, for those of y'all that are in, I'll give you a good example, Dallas or Fort Worth, okay? There are some of you that are in an area, because I think Boise is just kind of Boise, right? Like there's not lots of cities around Boise. But for those of you that are in an area where you're doing photo shoots in a few different areas, right? So I would definitely put like, Dallas, Fort Worth, or, where I live outside of a county in Georgia called Gwinnett County, I might put, Suwannee and Lawrenceville, newborn, whatever. So I would try to hit locations that you serve. I think Boise for you, Megan, is going to do the trick. I don't think you need to overthink that at all. So let's see. Okay, so I'm just making sure I don't have any more comments. Okay, so I would absolutely just make sure that you're using that name field. Let's see here. I do want to address the her profile picture, which is a logo. I'm not against logos. I'm not against logos as a profile picture. My preference would be to see a picture of your beautiful face, Monica. I just would. I'm going to go through some of your story highlights. I want to see, where can I see a picture of Megan? Megan, where are you? Where are you, Megan? Where are you? Okay, so she has a lot of story highlights. I want you to have a story highlight that says about or about me. Think of your story highlights as your website navigation menu. On your website, you're gonna have like about me, session information, newborn gallery, family gallery, seniors. And she already does have her different genres: weddings, seniors, newborns, kids, family. She already has that separated out. So I like how she has that. But photographers, hiring a photographer is a personal hire. If I hire you to shoot my family, you are either coming into my home, my private space, or I'm meeting you out at a public space like a park or something like that. I might come into your studio, so I'm entering your personal space. It's a very personal hire. I need to see what you look like. I don't care if you don't look like a supermodel. That's not the point. I want to see your face. I want to be able to make that connection point. Okay. And again, a friendly and approachable profile picture works really well here if we're hiring clients. Don't get me wrong. I love a good, moody, weird, wacky April Vargas style self-portrait. Okay. I love that. Right. I love that. But you're trying to shoot newborns and kids and families. And so your ideal client wants to see someone that is friendly and approachable, that they would want to have in their home. So like a smiling picture. You don't have to do a cheesy with my camera thing. You don't have to do that. You be you. You have it reflect your personality, but I really want to see your face. And so that's my thing with logos. I would instead, if it were me, I would have a picture of your gorgeous face as your profile picture. And then I would use your branding, your logo, your fonts, your colors. I would use those as story highlight covers. That's how I would use your branding here. I just really want to see your face. Also, I can see in your logo, it says simplicity, but then I think there's font underneath it and I can't read it. It's too small. So I can't read it. So just be really, I can read simplicity, but you guys, if you're using logos, just make sure, and especially for story highlight covers, I see this a lot for story highlight covers, that the font is so small that like, you have no idea like what it says. So, so just be mindful of that as you're creating those and as you're using those. I make mine in Photoshop. You can make them in Canva. You can buy them, there's free ones. You can use clip art. There's a bunch of free stuff. You don't have to like buy fancy stuff or whatever. I bought mine for like $20 from Creative Market. They also sometimes they have weekly freebies. So check out their weekly freebies. It's creativemarket.com. But I just want to see a picture of your face. That's another connection point that can be so powerful. I want to see your eyes. It just is. They've done studies on this. This isn't just me. Like they've done studies. People want to see the person. Okay. So now I'm going to read your profile bio. It says Click Pro, fresh photography, inspired by you, Boise based, available for travel, studio option. And then it has your email address, which is simplicitybymegan@gmail.com. You do have your LinkedIn profile. That is awesome. And it says on location, Boise, Idaho. Couple of redundancies here. I want to see more personality, Megan. You got to show me more personality. Here's the thing. You have Boise based. I already know you're Boise and Boise. You're already based in Boise. I know that because your business profile allows you to put a location. And so you've put your location there already. So it's there twice. So instead of using up valuable profile bio real estate, I think you get 155 characters. Don't quote me on that, but I think you get 155 characters. You already have Boise, Idaho. Get rid of that. Your email address is long, right? And all of our email addresses are long. So what I did notice is that you have, I know you guys can't see this. She has call to action buttons. One of her call to action buttons is a contact button. So when I tap the contact button, boom, I can just email her right here. I am not a fan of people that put their email address in their bio of their profile. It's not clickable. It's not copy pastable. And I'm not a moron. Like I can remember and type into my little thing, simplicitybymegan@gmail.com. Yes, I can type that in. It's not doing anything for you and you already have a contact button. So I would take that out. I think you're just taking up too much space there. I love that you have studio option. I think that's really interesting. I think people that want a little more variety, maybe they want fall pictures outside, but they would like certain pictures to be studio based. I love that you put that there. Fresh photography inspired by you. I think as I look through her grid, I'm seeing that. That makes sense to me. Sometimes when I read someone's profile bio and then I look at their pictures, there's like a disconnect there. They don't match. In this case, it does. I would say she's got nice colors. So when I think of like fresh photography, so I like that. I love the variety of images that she puts in, and she puts this in her bio, inspired by you. And I like that because, some photographers, and maybe someone has had an experience with a photographer that they ran the show. They wanted to pick the wardrobe. They wanted to pick the location. They wanted to do the posing. And maybe there's families out there or a client potentially out there that's like, but I have ideas about how I want my pictures to look, right? So, I think that will connect with people and they'll say, oh, inspired by me. So you're saying that I can kind of give you ideas of what I'm looking for. Maybe not like share with you a Pinterest board full of all sorts of weird stuff, but you know what I'm saying. She has in there Click Pro. I would leave Click Pro in there. Now, Click Pro for you in that space is not searchable. You may want to move the words Click Pro to your name field so that when people search Click Pro, you will come up. A lot of people do that. I just because I was being dorky and some of my friends called me out on it, when we went to ClickAway a couple weeks ago, or was that a few million years ago, I actually put in my name field, my searchable field, I put, hi, I'm Amanda, I'm at ClickAway. Why are they yelling? Oh, my kids are doing their online karate class downstairs. So if you hear yelling, they're going, hiya, hiya. So that's online karate classes. Anyway, so anything you put in that field is searchable. So if you want to be found as being a Click Pro, you could put Boise, Click Pro, use little dots as you've done here, or you can use a pipe, which is that straight up and down thing. The little, you know what I'm talking about, the little line. And so you could move Click Pro to that name field if you wanted to. Available for travel, I know a lot of people put that in there. That doesn't do it for me. I don't know. I think it's assumed. I think it's assumed that you're I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of putting available for travel. I think most wedding photographers, like if I were looking for a wedding photographer and I lived in Boise and I came across your Instagram account and I loved your work and I was like, I want to hire her to do my wedding, but I was getting married in Hawaii. Okay. What would happen is I would hit your contact button. I would email you or I would DM you and say, hey, I live in Boise. I found your account. I'm interviewing wedding photographers. Are you available to travel to Hawaii for a wedding next April? To which you say, yeah. So yeah, I would use, I talked about this before, connection points. I would use your profile bio to build connection points, show personality. I've said this before. Now people were saying, I haven't offended anybody. I'm about to offend some folks right now. So I've said this before and I've offended, but if in your profile bio, I've said like 35% of all photographer profile bios say the same thing. Chaser of light, lover of coffee and red wine and dark chocolate. So am I. Like, I am a chaser of light. I love red wine, coffee, and dark chocolate just like the next gal. Is it a connection point? Yeah, but like everybody, say something like, I don't know, say something unique, say something interesting about you. I'm trying to think there's one of my favorites, y'all, I would love to credit the person who has this, but in her profile bio, it literally reads, endlessly microwaving the same cup of coffee. And I read that and I went, oh, me. Or if someone put in there like, I'm rewashing the same load of laundry 50 times, like put something funny and witty. And if you're like, I'm not funny, I've done this before. I've had conversations with people who have said, I just don't know what to put. I just don't know what to put in my bed. I just don't know. It's like all this like pressure and stress. Like if I had a conversation with you and we were chatting about stuff, I betcha I could come up with some funny, witty, unique things about you that would be a connection point for other people. I've even seen people that put in their profile bio, I hate coffee, and to me that's kind of funny because it goes against the trend to say, I'm a chaser of light, lover of coffee, red wine, and dark chocolate. I don't blend in with the crowd. I would just use, and again, it's different for everybody and you have to find that out, but I'm betting you if I had a conversation with you, I could come up with some pretty interesting, unique things about you. That would be a connection point for sure. So, hey, Brandy Dykes and Joe Little. Hey, you guys. Hey, Jennifer. You guys are so sweet. Thank you. So let me see if there's anything else I want to say here about, and you guys can look at her profile. It's Simplicity Photography by Megan. What else do I want to say here? I do feel like, and again, with the story highlight covers, the story highlights, I would love to see you use your beautiful branding, the fonts and the colors, as your story highlights. You have a lot of story highlights. I would really try to, and you don't have any like ridiculously superfluous ones though. Sometimes I see people that have like way too many and I'm like, this does not need to be a highlight. Like take the word highlight seriously. Like it should be a highlight. But I mean, you have, I would maybe combine newborns and blanket options. I like that you have your part of the reason you have so many is you shoot so many different things. So I'm gonna give you a pass on that. But if you're listening to this and you have a million story highlights out there, see if you can kind of condense them. I always recommend having 4 to 6. And again, do be thinking of them as that menu navigation of your website. You want to have an about me. I would love to see a video. I would love for her to have her very first highlight, the leftmost highlight, to be about Megan. I want to see her face. I'd love for her to do a little cell phone video. It doesn't have to be fancy. And I'd love for her to say, And again, I'm making this up off the top of my head, but I'd love for her to say, hey, my name is Megan Wright. I am a photographer in Boise, Idaho. I love shooting anywhere from newborns and maternity, kids and families. I love shooting high school senior sessions, and I also shoot weddings. I'm available for travel worldwide. I've shot some incredible locations. You can go ahead and say, check out my story highlight for destination weddings. But the more real you can be, and video is the most powerful way to do that, I would absolutely have a video introducing yourself in your About Me thing. So About Me store thing. You know what I'm talking about. I sound like Joe Biden. You know the thing, the story highlight, the thing. So I would absolutely have that for sure. Now I'm just going to take a quick peek here. So in your story highlights, cute. Okay, so she's got some legit highlights, which I like. Don't put all of them there. Some photographers will literally put every single picture in a story highlight. It's a highlight, only your best. Like 8, 10. Don't make it look like a perforated line. What happens is they're going to see the perforated line and they're going to be like, nobody got time for that. And they're going to close out and they're going to be like, no. Highlight, just literally the best of the best. She's got some behind the scenes in there, which is fun. It's cute. It's more real, relatable. So I love that. So let's see. Oh, cool. Okay, so for her newborns, she's showing kind of some behind the scenes of how she's doing things, back of the camera shots. I like that. I think she's using them really well there. So that's what I would say. I should probably wrap her up. I might go over my time. But yeah, Megan, I hope that was helpful. I hope you picked up some good little nuggets of wisdom in there. I'm just going to click on this real quick. Okay. I just want to make sure. A lot of you volunteered, and if you go to my story in Click Pro Photographer story, you can put in your username and volunteer to have me do a hashtag audit of a recent image, or a profile audit like what I did right now for Megan. And it's basically like a one-on-one coaching, but it really helps anybody that listens to it, because hopefully you'll get some ideas on ways that you can improve your own profile. Let me think. Yeah, I think that's good. I got a thumbs up. So I hope that was helpful. And again, and I can't stress this enough. It has to reflect you. You're so very welcome, Megan, but it has to reflect you. If anything I was saying today and you're kind of like, no, that just doesn't feel right, that doesn't feel like me, then don't do it. Don't do it. And I what I say to a lot of people is, you want your profile picture and your profile to be friendly and approachable and witty and followable. Well, for some people, that's not their personality, and it would be inauthentic for them to do that. I follow some people on Instagram that are edgy and that are a little harsh, a little abrasive, and that's their personality. And when they're true to their personality, that's when they connect with people and people go, I really like her. Don't you have that best friend that like drops the F-bomb totally inappropriately and you kind of love her because it's funny? Same thing on Instagram. If you're edgy and a little rough around the edges, be you very authentically. So please take that all with a grain of salt. I really want your Instagram account to reflect your personality. If it doesn't, I think that it's same with your photography. If you're trying to be something that you're not going to be as happy and you're not going to be as successful doing it. So make it as authentic to you as you can. But yeah, so anyway, that's my grain of thought. Thank you guys for watching so much. And for those of you that volunteered, I have screenshotted you, and I promise I will hit you up. If not on live stream, I will do a video or something like that to make sure that I help everybody that was volunteering. So anyway, thank you guys. Thank you, Emily, everybody, for watching. I appreciated it. Hopefully I'll be on tomorrow, so maybe I'll pop up into your live stream soon too, and we can talk about some other things. Let me know if you have Instagram questions or anything. Hi, Courtney. Ooh! I didn't know I probably would have watched my mouth a little bit if I'd known that Courtney was watching. But okay, guys, thank you so much. I hope that you stay well, stay home, love the people around you, and get through this. I'm sending y'all lots and lots of loves. Thank you for the love bombs. I'm sending you guys all the love bombs too. So it has been such a joy to do this and to talk to you guys. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your afternoon.